For today's video, we're going to use this sugar bead, a snipping tool, or you can use scissors to cut, and this 0.7mm fishing thread. To start with, you can cut your line as long as your arms can take, and we're going to start with by stringing 4 beads into the line, and we're going to cross with the 4th one. You're going to hold the both lines together to be equal so that one doesn't get longer than the other, and pull the bead you used to cross it downwards, and then drag to keep in place. Now you're going to place 1 bead on each side of your line, because we have 2 lines now, and cross with another, so that's 3 beads altogether. Since we're working with sugar beads, we have to keep the shape in place, so you have to adjust when you do, because of the dimensions of the bead. So we're going to repeat the same process, add 1 to each side and cross with the 3rd. So you're going to repeat the same process again, add 1 to both sides and cross with the 3rd. So we're going to do this until we get to our preferred length, and we'll continue from there. So here's our preferred length for this bag and for the purpose of this video. So you're going to count the middle. You have to make sure that the middle bead is an odd number, so it ends at an odd number, and for this video we're going to make it 25. So we have 24 here already, and we're going to turn to the next line. So for turning to the next line, you have to take 1 line and add 2 beads instead of adding 1 to each line. Add 2 beads to 1 line and then cross with the 3rd. So we're starting a new line, and this is how it should look like. Remember, we're making a semicircle bag, so this is the shape we're going for. So for the new line, we're going to take your left line and add 5 beads. And then cross with the 5th bead. Now we're going to take our right line and put it through the next 2 beads. Please take note, you are putting it through 2 beads at once, not 1. So you're going to take it and put it through 2 beads. Now on your left line, we're going to add 3 beads to it. So you add 3 beads to your left line and then cross with the 3rd one. Again, we're going to take our right line into 2 beads like the first one and add 3 beads to the left line. Remember to cross with the third bead. Going to repeat the same process. That's take your right line, pass it through 2 beads, your left line, add 3 beads and cross with third. So at this point, you should get a curve like this as seen. So we're going to go on and complete this. So you add your right line to 2 beads, add 3 beads to the left and cross. At the end of the line, we have just 1 bead left to pass through. So you're going to pass your right thread through it. And then, since we're moving to a new line, you're going to place your beads on the right thread instead of the left one. So take 4 beads on the right thread and then cross to enter a new line. Yeah, so this is what it should look like after crossing to the new line. So because we need from left to right, I'm going to turn this over. So in your left line, you're going to take 4 beads and cross with the 4th one. Here's what it should look like. So we're going to go through 2 beads again, go through 2 O's, and for our left thread we're going to add 2 beads this time. So we cross on the 2nd bead. So we're going to do this again. Pass the right line through 2 beads. On the left line, you add 2 beads and cross with the second. So we're going to do this until we get to the last bead as well. So you pass through 2, add 2 to the left and cross. So we'll have 1 hole to go through after this. Now please pay attention to this part. This is the hole you are going to pass through it, and remember it's just 1. So you pass it through, and remember when closing a line, you place the beads on the right line instead of the left one. So I'm going to take 3 beads on the right line and cross with the third. Turn it over again to start a new line. Remember, it's because we're kneading from left to right, so it's easier to just do this. So on our left line, we're going to take 3 beads and cross with the third. So for this step, we're just going to pass through 1 bead instead of 2 like the rest. So we're passing through 1 bead, and on the left we're adding 2 beads and crossing with the second. Going to go to the next bead. Remember, it's just 1 we're passing through. Then on your left you add 2 and cross with the second. We're going to do this until we get to the end of the line. what your back should look like. So we already at the last line, we already put the left line into the last bead, and since we're turning, we're going to add 2 beads to the right line and then cross to enter a new line. So for this part of the process, we're going to take 4 beads on the left line and cross with the 4th one. So after that, you're going to pass your right line into 2 beads. Then on your left line, we're going to add 2 beads and then cross with the second. Yes, so you repeat the same process. Pass through 2 beads with your right line, and on your left line add 2 beads and then cross with the second. So we're just going to follow through the same process to get to the end of the line. Now notice for this line we have 2 extra hoops to pass through instead of 1. So we're going to pass through the 2, and then on your right line, since we're going to turn to a new line, you add 2 beads, only 2 beads, and cross with the second. On your left line, add 4 beads and cross with the 4th one. So now we're going to go through 2 beads, add 2 beads also to your left line, and cross with the right line. same process. Then for the last one, we're going to go through the last 2 holes, then put the beads on the right thread. So 2 beads on the right thread and cross with the second. For this step, please watch really closely. We're not adding any beads right now, so you're going to pass your right thread through 4 beads, and we're going to close it here, so it has to look like this. Now we're going to close it with 1 bead. And that's it. Now I'm going to tuck my thread in and we'll be right back. So this is what it looks like after tucking in. So for this bag, we're going to need 2 of this. I already made the other one off camera, and we're going to join both together. If you need a video on how to tuck your threading, your excess threading, I'm going to leave a link in the description box to how I do mine, so you can watch and learn. So let's start the joining now. So on the first bead here, I'm going to pull my thread in through just 1 bead, like so, and then I'm going to add 1 bead to both sides of the thread and then cross with the third. So now we're going to repeat the same thing again. Add 1 bead to both sides and then cross with the third. Now we're going to attach this part of the joining to the other part of the bag, which is this first. So we're going to place 1 bead on the top line, then pass it through the first line of this other side of the bag. Then you cross with 1 bead. So it should look like this when you're done. Now we're going to pass this thread through the second bead. same line, you add 2 beads and cross with the second. So now with the top part of the thread, pass it through this bead here, the top bead, and then add 2 beads to that thread and then cross. So after that, we're going to pass this top thread now through to that bead and the next bead on the other part of the bag, and we're going to cross it with just 1 bead. Now to get started on another line, we're going to take your right thread through the next bead on the other part of the bag, and on that same line you place 2 beads and cross with the second. Now we're just going to repeat the same process until we get around the bag. what it should look like when you're done. I'm just going to go right into making the handle for the bag. So on a new line, you take 3 beads with your left thread and then cross with your right. Then go into the next hole, take 2 beads into your left thread and cross with your right on the second bead. You're going to the last hole and you're going to place the bead on the right thread because we're going to start a new line. So you're going to place 2 beads on the right thread and cross with your left thread. Then you start a new line over again. Go with 3 beads, cross with 1, cross with the third, go into the next line with 2 beads, cross with the second, go into the last one. Just going to do that until you get to the end of whatever length you desire with your handle. Here's my desired length for the handle. I'm going to attach the other end to the bag now. So on my left thread, I'm going to add 1 bead, pass it through the first bead at the other part of the bag, and I'm going to cross with 1 other bead. Attaching the handle to the other side of the bag. You love have a very pretty bag. going to close this. So we have some lapses here. I'm going to join it to the handle now. So you're just going to place your thread through these 3 beads here and just close one bead. So you're going to do the same for the 4 sides. I'm just going to do one to show you, then you can do the others yourself. Or if you can leave the bag like that, whatever you like. So here's the bag after filling up those places. They have a very pretty bag. So if you want to put a lock on your bag, you can, or you can just leave it like this. It's still gorgeous. So guys, if you have any questions and anything you want me to do next, please write it out in the comment section, and please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.